Hello, this video is about just the basics of Salesforce. For those that don't know, we use Salesforce for pretty much everything we do. It is technically a platform that was created for large businesses supporting a huge force of people that are salesmen and doing different purchasing and sales related jobs. However, uh, it is ultimately an online database system. Years ago, when I started, we started with Excel spreadsheets and then we moved into multiple databases. If you did a technical assistance for one project, you had one database. If you did it for multiple, you had to go to different databases. Plus, there was what's now called WLS. So we had multiple ways to, or multiple places to enter in information. And now we've adopted Salesforce to try to control that and to get everything into one place. And so that's what Salesforce is. It may seem overwhelming, but we're always here to help. So the most confusing part of Salesforce is how to get around. Because we record so many things in Salesforce, we've had to make what are called different apps. Right now, I am on the training app. So in the training app, I can see what you see in a lot of them, which is a home page, an organization, contacts. But I have some extra things. I have membership, training, training events, training reservations, and some reports. Now, if I'm not dealing with trainings, I can click over here in this rainbow colored little bar that changes colors all the time, and I can move between apps. So I have organized these apps to have the tabs that you may need in that specific situation. For example, if you're a specialist for our program, there's a chance when I click on this, you may need access to your projects or field trips, which are mini learning experiences, or our campaigns, parent events, or library materials. Perhaps you're just working with someone on the resource library, and all of a sudden, if I click on this app, which that's what that gets it to, it only goes towards those items you need to complete that task. There's one for our entire program, and it's really big. It contains a little bit of extra stuff like dashboards, and you'll learn about all of this as you go along, and you can always click on them. It's not going to hurt anything by clicking. And then we have our Child Start one, which really just brings in all sorts of stuff that in a lot of cases you may not need. This is the way to get access to most of the things you need. But if there's something that you need that you don't find, you can click View All. It brings up the apps that I have defined for you to use. If you decide there are a set of tabs you need, which is basically what an app is a set of tabs, I can make one for you. Now, below here is literally everything in Salesforce. We have things that you may never see. We used to do material inventory here. We used to do a lot of things. But in most cases, everything you need will be found under one of these apps. Other ways to get around the system. By the way, I'm logged in as Caroline Teeter, which is one of our lead specialists, just because it's less confusing that way. But over here on the right, you'll find some things like View Profile, and you get to choose the different things. Switch to Salesforce Classic. This is the old way of looking at things. I highly recommend you don't even look at it. We want you to be enlightening, which is what we're in right now, because of this Salesforce Classic will be going away. There are display densities, comfy and compact. You can play around with those. It won't be permanent. You can always switch back and forth. You have notifications. So if you see that bell lit up, maybe you need to do something. There's help here. So if there's something you need to do that is a program-wide type thing, so it won't be specific to what our program does, but it is specific to what Salesforce does, there's help. There's also specific training, learning paths. So as you get into Salesforce, you may love it or you may hate it. And if you're on the side of loving it, Salesforce really is an absolutely great tool. I can work with you to customize it. You can learn about all the different ways it can help you, and you can do that through the learning paths. Just beware that I have highly customized our Salesforce, so not everything may make sense. And also, we're on what's called a nonprofit pack. So a lot of our terminology is changed from what you learn in the learning paths. That's not to discourage you. I absolutely encourage you to learn as much as you can. The plus symbol will allow for some global actions to happen really quickly on the fly. That's about it for organizing this homepage. Your homepages may look a little bit different as we get further into the year. I'll be customizing homepages for things that matter the most to you. At this point, what's going to happen is you just seeing training information. But that is the simple navigation. Actually, I should add, so if you're on a app, these tabs change. Now, if you click on a tab, for example, organizations, whether it be any of these, you'll see pretty much the same thing. Number one, you'll see a viewing panel. And in most cases, it'll start with recently viewed. Right next to there is a down button. And you can see different, what are called list views. Now, you can use what's there, or you can create your own, or you can have me create it. For example, in organizations, we can choose all households, all organizations, my organizations, new last week. These are the examples of what you can have. There's something that you want that you don't see. I can either help you create a new view, or you can create your own. Also, if there's a view you prefer, you can choose one and then you can pin it. And that is what will automatically come up for you. Recent organizations really isn't the best, but I'll tell you, all of these tabs start off as recent. So that's a good thing to know. You can also, anytime there's a field, you can click to organize. So I can organize by kind of provider, billing street, organization name, so forth. With each of these views, you can actually choose which columns are here. So if there's something that you're like, I want a list of organizations I created in the past month, and I want to know the date they're added and the county they're in, we can work together to get that to work. Also, with each of these tabs, aside from the list views, which are these, you also have a few other buttons over here, but I'll tell you, the one that will always occur is new. So if you need to create a new organization, contact, donation, in this example, campaign, lots of these you won't, but just know you can always click new and you can do it from that area.